So here we are again today with another political rant. I know I promised that I wouldn't do any more of these, but events of the last couple of days have really gotten me a bit fired up, and I've got one more thing that I want to discuss. If you're interested in the game that's running in the background, it is a 19th century sailing simulator called Sail the Seas. It's in early access now on Steam. What's grinding my gears today are statements made by members of the Trump regime in regards to the system of international rules-based order that has existed since the end of the Second World War, or approximately the last 80 years. These members of the regime assert that international rules-based order is nothing but a pleasant fiction, and that the United States has permission to do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, wherever it wants on the world stage, and faces no repercussions. Reaction to the statements made by the Trump regime has been rather severe, going so far as to even trigger an emergency session of the United Nations Security Council. But are they correct? Is the international rules-based order and international law itself nothing but a pleasant fiction? The answer is not what you think. Or it might be exactly what you think, because the short version of the answer is yes, it is. The international rules-based order and the system of international law is, as with all laws on the planet Earth, including those 10 that you're probably thinking of, a creation of the human mind. If you're just looking for a simple answer to that question, you're free to stop the video now. But if you're interested in the much longer form version of the answer to that question, just let the video keep running. As we said earlier, the international rules-based order, or the system of international law, is largely a creation of the post-Second World War world, from which the United States emerged as the sole global superpower. For that reason, the United States was granted a number of get-out-of-jail-free cards. It was assumed, and the assumption largely held true for the past 80 years, that the United States would be acting in some form or fashion in the interests of democracy. The events of the last 2 decades, largely encompassing the political ascension of Donald J. Trump, have seen those assumptions called into question. As it exists today, the system of international law, or the international rules-based order, largely does not apply to the United States, either because the United States is not a signatory to that particular treaty, or the treaty in question included a get-out-of-jail-free clause for the United States. And so, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your particular perspective, the United States is largely free to do whatever it wants on the global stage. Or is at least at present, until international law catches up with the change in regime in the United States.